you to your light. Welcome, 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 everyone. I am so happy to see you. I am your host, Dr. Joan of Angels, and you're on the Dr. Joan of Angels show, where we work to align your body, mind, and spirit so you can step into your best life. Now, are you ready to discover how you can craft a life of unity, abundance, and purposeful impact in this emerging 5D reality? Because if so, join me with Suzanna Kennedy, where we're going to be talking about how to ascend to your 5D leadership. Susanna is going to share powerful insights, tools, and practices, which she works with her tribe, that helps us transcend our limitations and step into the next level of our personal and professional evolution. Now, while we're waiting for Susanna, I want you all to be sure to like, subscribe, and share so we get this channel out to more people. And again, I'm Dr. Joan of Angels, and you're on the Dr. Joan of Angels show with me. Be sure to check out my channel at joanofangels.com. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Suzanna. Suzanna Kennedy is an Ascension Catalyst and a 5D leadership coach. She empowers spiritually awakened professionals to align success with soul purpose. Creator of the Reality Crafting 5.0 program and the author of Sacred Union, Ascending to a 5D Paradise, Suzanna blends spiritual wisdom and quantum physics to help individuals like you transcend limitations and step into authentic, heart-centered leadership. With years of experience in corporate training and spiritual development, Suzanna is dedicated to facilitating the evolution of conscious leaders across all industries, dedicated to facilitating the evolution of conscious leaders across all industries as we are co-creating a 5D new earth. So let's actually give a wonderful welcome. Like if you can hear it, a wonderful welcome to Suzanna. Suzanna Kennedy, hello, hello, hello.
Hello, Joan. Aloha to you and to everybody.
That's right. You're in Hawaii, aren't you?
I am. My slice of paradise right here.
Well, I was thinking, heaven on earth, 5D dimensional frequency. Where else to be but in Hawaii, right?
Yeah. Well, I've been here for 24 years. So, yeah.
And this is where your work evolved. That's very, very beautiful. So, Suzanna, why don't you give us a little background on how you got to be an Ascension Catalyst and leadership coach?
Okay. Well, just briefly starting at when I was age 8 and I was growing up in a Catholic family, I heard the story of Jesus ascending. And I came home and I said, I want to ascend. I'm going to ascend. And my mom said, no, that's just for Jesus. I says, oh, no. It's a science and I'm going to figure it out. So fast forward to 1997, I'm a respected consultant. I'm living and working and grew up in the Detroit, Michigan area. And our consulting firm worked with the auto industry. And my career was going really well. And yet I wasn't really feeling satisfied. Something felt out of alignment. And I kept asking, what is my sole purpose? I don't think that I was sent here to teach guys how to run a car dealership, And so I kept asking that question. And then one Saturday morning, I woke up with this energy running up my spine. And it was electric, it was magnetic, it was intense, it was scary. And I kind of said, oh my God, what's happening to me? And I heard a voice inside my head that says, you're giving birth to yourself, just breathe. I had 2 children, so I did the birthing breath, the Lamaze breath, and that helped me to cope with it. But it lasted for about an hour and a half. And when it was done, I felt like a completely different person. And I was like connected to this vast beingness, this incredible love, the incredible power. And yet at the same time, I could see what looked to me like a computer network in my energy field, which I understood was my self-identity, who I thought I was, my ego. And it looked like a computer program. And I knew it was like the false me, the false identity that I had created. And I knew that I wasn't that, that's not who I really am. And I knew that if I didn't somehow get rid of this programming, I was going to not be able to be who I really was now. The truth was revealed. And I wouldn't be able to do what I came here to do, because it came in with a very strong sense of purpose. And so it took me a while to understand what it was and to integrate this new energy. It changed everything. It changed my personality. It changed my values. And I got very mission oriented. And, one thing led to another. And I found a way to really integrate and embody that higher frequency. And then also to clear the subconscious programming. So I was guided to a method to do that. I certified in that method or that modality. And then when I started to practice it, this guidance voice stayed with me, thank God. And
Wow.
yeah, and
that is so beautiful.
Yeah, and it guided me to evolve the process to make it more graceful, because they were saying that we're going to come to a time and people are going to understand that they have this limited programming and that it's holding them back, and they're going to, their soul is going to awaken. They're going to want to do their soul purpose. And, we want you to evolve this so that you can, they can either do it on their own, or you can do it in a big group. But it needed to be more graceful, because it wasn't graceful. I had to do one person at a time. It was very cathartic. You had to really be there to fully support them, because they were, their blocks were coming up and they were seeing their traumas, and it was like very traumatic. So it was effective, but it was traumatic. And so I have, created that. It's called the Emotional Mental Detox Program. And that helps people to clear their subconscious programming and all the emotional pain that programming has created in their life. So, and it's a very graceful way to do it. And then, over the years, that started in 1998, and I've been doing this all that time. And so I've evolved more. I've received more consciousness technology. And my latest directive is to prepare leaders for the fifth dimension, for New Earth, because as we see, the leaders that we've had are I don't know that they were ever for us, but, all those structures are falling apart. The faith in the leadership in all industries is, they've been discredited. And so as we go into this fifth dimensional paradise Earth, we need a new kind of leadership that's leading from unity and compassion and love and vision. And, but they have to be in the 5D consciousness in order to do that. So that's what I'm doing right now, is helping people to let go of the 3D consciousness and bring in the 5D consciousness, and then get them ready. And what I've been attracting so far is, people who are really already very successful. They've got big networks. And they are feeling that from their soul, and they're feeling misaligned with what they've been doing to reach their success. And they're wanting to, really connect with that higher self and bring through that. They can kind of see it, but they don't know how to get there. And so that's what I've been attracting so far. And I'm very excited to work with these people. And I know there's a lot more that, I would love to find.
So you're calling for people who really know that they're leaders, already are leaders, but really to refine it for the fifth dimensional, the new earth frequencies.
Right. And, leaders, you don't have to necessarily have like a big platform and be on stage or anything. I mean, a leader, you can be a leader in your home, you can be a leader in your community. You can have, a healing practice that you're leading people through your own kind of transformation with your modality. So that's it's a word that's kind of all encompassing. But we're going into the fifth dimension, and we got to be ready because the leadership we have now is falling apart. And somebody has to step up.
And these are the times for which we've been called. So all of you out there have a mandate to be here now and a mission that you're to do. So if they come in and they don't know what they're here to do, but they still feel that, do you get people like that also?
Oh, yeah. So I have people that have really clear visions. They might have been given a vision, but a lot of people who have a vague idea, but they don't, they can't articulate the details, which is okay, because, the way that I help people manifest is from the heart. It's from the feeling. So you don't have to know what it looks like or how it's going to happen. You just have to know what you want it to feel like, to be of sacred service, to be feeling that feeling of soul fulfillment, to, be serving people and feeling their gratitude to your, so there's the feeling qualities. And then the other stuff will, it'll come to you. And when I get them, really connected with their higher self, then they, that wisdom from the higher self also helps, and it opens up their intuition to be able to receive their own inner guidance.
So what is involved in training someone to be a leader in the new earth? Like, how do you know you would need training, and what is involved?
Well, the first step is clearing away the third dimensional consciousness. And then, being connected to your higher self. And then once the old, programming is gone, a lot of things just happen naturally. The intuition happens naturally. All your relationships improve. The ones that are not in your highest good, fall away pretty gracefully. You attract other people, and you get to that place where your soul is embodied and it's broadcasting through your heart and radiating through your heart clearly now without any distortion from the old programming, right? And so everything, everybody, every opportunity that's in alignment with your soul frequency is going to just naturally be attracted to you. And so what I'm doing with people is helping them to clear away the old, and then use the multidimensional abilities that are coming in, and get them in alignment with their higher guidance that can guide them, and also teaching them to consciously manifest. So that's the reality crafting 5.0 method.
Okay,
Yeah.
now let's talk about that, the reality crafting 5.0, because I know that we can put our intentions into the future and that way we anchor them in there so they manifest. Is that kind of what you're talking about? Tell us what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, there's been a lot of people teaching about manifestation, and before we called it manifestation, it was like goal setting. You set your goals and you look, what are your steps and what you take the action. And, and that worked in the 3D world, but it's not, it's a lot more struggle and a lot more work than going into the quantum and creating from that place. And so that involves, like I was saying, getting a sense of how you want to feel. So in like a reality crafting session with me would be, you choose one aspect of your life that you would like to upgrade. And I can go into your reality hologram, and I just kind of, my intuition has the ability to read reality codes. And I can go into the quantum possibilities of all that is and find what is your highest expression of this aspect of your life. And then I can articulate it, which creates the new codes. And then, so that creates the codes for your new reality. And then we also call up anything that's in resistance. So that could be the beliefs, that could be the patterns and habits, that could be things, outside of what you perceive to be outside of you. It could be, stuff that came through on your DNA from your ancestors. It could be multidimensional, alternate life stuff. So I just call all of that resistance. And we clear that out, we transmute it, and then we have a clear reality codes without any resistance. And the resistance then is transmuted into creative power, and then we anchor it in. And we get very quick results, because when you're creating in the quantum, time is just an illusion, and it actually puts you on a different timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty amazing. It seems pretty magical, but it all follows the universal laws and quantum physics and the gift of creatorship that we've all been given.
I love it. I just love what you're doing. It feels very organic, very grounding. I think it's fabulous to be training people, because I do believe, as I said before, that these are the times for which we're called. And in my work, I have found a lot of people don't know what that means. They feel like, yes, I've been called, but I don't know what that looks like. Or I don't even know if I have the skills I need to do that. So having you do this is a wonderful service, a wonderful service.
Thank you. Yeah.
So do you have any messages for people now, how to handle what's been going on the planet, or any words of upliftment or advice for everyone?
Sure. Well, what's going on is our ascension process. And the best way to get through it in the most graceful way is to, raise your frequency, focus your attention on what you want, not on what you don't want. Don't give attention to anything that brings you down when you think about it or engage in it. So, really focus and find ways to keep your vibration high. The higher your personal vibration, the more graceful your life is.
Right. So, that is amazing.
Yeah. So start to identify what brings you up, what brings you down. Do more of what brings you up. Be around people who bring you up. Stay out of the past. Stay out of victim stories or trauma stories from the past. and feel, let yourself, go inside and feel the world that you want to live in. Just feel it as if it's here right now. And, and if you don't know how to do it, get help. Get help. Wasn't it Einstein that said something like, you can't solve a problem from the same consciousness that created it? Well, maybe it's time to, get with somebody who is in the place that you'd like to be, who knows how to get there, who can give you a hand up.
Right. That's what a good mentor does.
Right.
Right. So how can people find you, Madam Suzanna?
Yeah, my website, SuzannaKennedy.com. And on the homepage, there's a quiz. It's called the Pathway to Paradise Quiz. And it helps you to identify what is exactly getting in your way of manifesting your paradise on earth. What are the specific things in it? It's a beautiful self-assessment, and the results that it gives you, the feedback that I'm getting is like, this is so right on. I had somebody say yesterday, I cried when I read it because it was like you knew me from the inside out. So it really is very helpful. And there's some helpful, ideas for each type of person, very specific, that you can do. I had another client that he showed me his iPhone, and he says, those 5 suggestions that you gave me, I put them on my phone and I do them every day. So, yeah, that's a way to get started.
I love it. I love it. So phenomenal. Suzanna, I want to thank you for being on the show. We really love you. So once again, guys, you can reach out to her at SuzannaKennedy.com. All right. Was that great? Honestly, that she can train you to do what you came here to do, I love. So thank you so much for joining us, everyone, on this very special episode of the Dr. Joan Show. And Suzanna, it's been such a pleasure having you here and learning about your journey and the wisdom that you've shared. So for those of you watching, I highly recommend reaching out to her. Thank you for joining us on the Dr. Joan Show. Remember, you are powerful, limitless, and you are here for a reason. Stay inspired, stay protected, and keep shining your light. Until next time, miracles are waiting for you.